you know what? There's just a few copies there, and we want to. Thank you.
Do you want one of those? Or do you have your own?
I might.
Yeah. Does anybody need a hard copy?
I'll take one. I have this.
You know what? Somebody may end up with my notes.
Oh.
So if you see them on the back,
You win our prize.
yeah.
Yes, you get to run the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't win anything.
I think these are all clear.
Yeah.
Yes. I can go off of last month's. Okay, we're ready.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 5:45.
Okay. All right, Chair Martin Gilmore.
Here.
Vice Chair Kyle Conrad.
Here.
Catalina Johnson.
Here.
Erica Kriesel. Here. Leah Moran.
Here.
Stacy Potash is excused. Shane Smith.
Here.
Alternate member Angelica Deloria is absent. Englewood's Liaison Emily Ancona is absent. We have City Council Liaison Chelsea Newnenkamp.
Present.
We have staff Director Christina Underhill. Library and Cultural Arts Manager Bethany Lafferty is not present. Event Supervisor Tony Arnoldy. Great. Thank you.
All right, moving on to the approval of minutes from the last meeting.
Move to approve the minutes from the August meeting.
Second.
Seconded.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. No public comment tonight?
No, we actually could move the chamber's request under this.
Okay. Well, let's do that. We got a proposal and request from the Chamber of Commerce today. Did everybody see that email?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we supported their event with $5,000 to help them with the mural for this event, which is on October 12th. It's 1:06 p.m. I looked through the budget today. We don't have $5,000 left over, and I don't think we budgeted for this unless things were updated. Is that true? Okay. It's kind of a last minute thing.
But I do have the budget I can share.
Okay, I have it here too, but yeah, that's fine. I know we distributed some money to communications for their mural. We distributed some money to Frame Day Art for their mural, which I don't know what the status of that is. I was thinking about that the other day. We have $3,600 remaining in our account, but I think we had some other things we maybe wanted to do this year. I don't remember off the top of my head. Did everybody get a chance to read that proposal today?
I did, but I had a question.
Yep.
Which I asked Debbie, because I didn't see in the actual proposal itself, like what they were asking for. I know last year, Debbie, you told me we gave them $5,000.
Yes.
Which we obviously cannot do this year.
Yes.
I also think that, I think even half of that is a lot for us right now.
So too. What was it? It was in the mural contest. In 2023, over 20 local muralists submitted applications to create a mural on the backside of Felt Bar at South Tacoma and Floyd Avenue. The design is sort of selected. Yeah.
I was gonna say too, to add, I think that was Leah, but to add to that, I'm also worried about this timeline. That event is less than a month away with no calls for artists or designs yet, and that's a really tight timeline.
Yeah.
The submission deadline is 9:30, so it wouldn't happen before the event.
Yeah.
Because the event is
It's the 12th,
Yeah,
so they're doing a call with 2 weeks.
yeah. And if they, I would assume I won't have the mural painted in 2 weeks, I don't think.
In passing,
I'm not
Lindsay
concerned
Runyon
about that.
mentioned there were some good artist submissions in the past that they could potentially use. So I don't know if that's the thought.
Okay. I like this event for Englewood. I mean, I like the mural thing, but there's no way, we can't do what we did last year with 5,000. And we also had kind of spread some of the money we set aside for murals to other organizations. So yeah, I thought I'd bring it up for discussion and see what people wanted to do.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Because looking at the budget.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to understand, as somebody who does not use the budget, don't tell anybody that, but what do we actually have?
Sorry, the number I gave you before is not correct. This one is correct because I had 25,000 set aside as a reserve, but we set aside, or set aside a smaller amount for the reserve at the beginning of the year. So this budget is correct.
So the 13,000?
That's correct, yes. But I think we were using some of that for the sculptures, is that correct?
For the
For
median,
the median art, I think some of that is.
no,
Budgeted.
yeah,
Oh,
the
it's
20,000 is
Sorry.
budgeted.
So you have to keep in mind too, this budget doesn't refresh whole every year.
Right.
I think next year we're looking around 35 to 40,000 potentially
Right.
for additional funding. So just keep that in mind as we budget.
And last year we had 8,500 that we used, so.
I guess,
Is this something we want to commit to every year? So I feel like that's kind of where we are.
I think it's an interesting question because it's all in the same location. So it's not bringing people to a new portion of the city with a mural, which I really love the mural that they did last year. And I think it's super cool to have that whole building painted. But I feel like the event is more interesting than having a mural in the exact same spot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I still think we should support it in some way, but I don't know that having a mural there matters as much to me as having it somewhere else potentially in the city, personally.
Thinking ahead, some potential projects that are like on the horizon if we decide to pursue them are, I know there's interest in having like more gateway to the city type things at Dartmouth and Oxford.
because this is on a cone, right?
Correct, yeah.
It's on the back of the
So, and Devil's
That's
Hat is
across from
empty.
where that is. So that, like the gateways to the city, I know that that's of interest to the city to have artwork placed at Oxford and Dartmouth somehow on the underpasses. I know there's, Chelsea maybe knows, are those roundabouts at Downing and Dartmouth and those places, is that happening?
Yes, I think the construction will start next year.
Okay. So those are places, I don't know what those roundabouts are gonna look like, but will there be space for potential art pieces there, do you think, Chelsea?
No, they will be the mounded roundabouts so that trucks can drive over them if needed and
Okay.
ambulances.
Okay, cool. I know Old Hamden, I used to work on Old Wadsworth in Arvada. Old Hamden, they're putting in medians there, so there might be opportunities for art. So there's other places we can potentially spend this money for art in the city rather than here.
Is there a way we can still support it without giving as much as we did last year? Potentially.
I think that's probably true. I think we could probably give them whatever amount we decided.
I think that's what they're asking for.
Yeah.
There isn't a specific amount requested.
There's
There's no
not-
specific amount other than it says
Anything.
what we pledged last year.
anything
I'm not-
toward the 10,000.
And I sent her a message saying that the 5,000 was unlikely. That would be 2,000. Since we got this today, I didn't look back and see what we had contributed to the framed art murals, communications murals. I just have the big amount. Is that on here?
At the 3,000
Yeah.
to go to them in November.
Yeah, but I think that was for 2 different things, wasn't it? 3,000. Was that to just framed art?
I think both of the murals together were maybe 3, or we were
Yeah.
giving half of what they requested or something.
Sorry, if I'd have gotten this earlier, I would have looked up the motions, but I didn't write it down.
And Martin,
Yeah.
I just forwarded you an email from Brian Hart at Frame to Art. They're doing the 2 murals there, and they are going up in the next couple of weeks, and he is offering like a showing for the city on September 18th. So you asked about the timeline earlier.
Cool, I was excited to see it. I just thought, oh yeah, we approved that money, and I didn't know the timeline. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else we complete, I do.
Okay.
So we have to decide today, right, if we're doing this?
I guess. I mean,
I know I keep saying this, but I don't think I understand. How much money do we actually have that we're talking about?
we actually have 13,000
Okay.
remaining. 13.
So there's no way we're giving them $5,000.
631.
I mean, I would be comfortable with $2,000.
2,000. Does anybody have any discussion about 2,000 towards the murals?
Yeah, I think just in light of how we've funded other groups this year for murals, I feel like we've been funding between that $1,000 and $2,000 marks. So that feels like where we should kind of find ourselves on this one. I'm also, again, the timeline's really tight. So I feel like it's hard to make such a big decision so quickly. So for me, I wish we had been given a little bit more time on this one, because I definitely think murals and mason jars is a cool cultural event for Englewood. I do like supporting our small businesses, which the chambers, that, you know, that's their job, is to also support all those businesses. So in that sense, I do want to support this event to some capacity. But I do think the turnaround time is pretty tight right now. So I'm kind of leaning in the same realm where I feel like 1,000 to 2,000 for this mural. Also, I think, you know, feedback for the future would be to remember we do want to have murals throughout the city, and so just making sure we're pushing the chambers to maybe do that murals and mason jars in different locations, because I know she has on her proposal that she wants to fill every wall, but I feel like at some point, the chambers or the business is going to have to take on the rest of that. And we really should be doing murals in other parts of the city and supporting other businesses, because I don't want to look like we only support one area or one business. So those are kind of my thoughts on this. I don't know.
Yeah, those are comments that we can give to her. I'm not sure when I don't have any information about when she would need a decision by, and I guess, Debbie, did she ask directly for something specific or just sent the proposal?
I forwarded to you what I received from her. You know, in her email, it stated doing the same as last year. So that's where I assumed she was asking for the 5,000
Okay.
from the Cultural Arts Commission, 2,500 from
Okay.
wayfinding.
Oh, I see. She already is. Okay.
Oh, one more thing, Martin, though, to think about, I guess, for the committee is that our budget does end in December.
Yeah.
So we only have 3 more meetings after this.
Right.
And I think, as far as I know, we do only have 3 more big budget, or 4 more things that are big budget line items. So I guess unless the city is actively going to pursue the Dartmouth, the other piece to think about is where would we funding.
Right.
And other things are going to come up. So I'm not saying that that means we should go big, but at the same time, like 13,000 is not a small amount. So I feel like we could do 2,000 without worrying about being able to fund other projects, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I guess my biggest thing is it's last minute.
Yeah.
And in future years, if our budget is less,
Yeah.
I'll want to always be on the hook for $5,000 for this event. So that's kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really worried about the last minute and the idea that we potentially are 5,000 every year to throw this event. And I think that's a lot for us when some years we have a very small budget of 8,000 or, like we've had years with tiny budget. And so I agree. I don't want to set that precedent that we can always fund 5,000.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion about the amount 2,000? Does that seem like an appropriate amount?
I would support it.
Folks want to do? Yeah. All right, we'll have to make a motion. Anybody want to make a motion?
I move that we spend $2,000 for the Greater Englewood Chamber of Commerce Murals and Mason Jars project.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Besides Erica?
Aye.
All right.
All right. All opposed? Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Here we go. Moving on to old business, the signal wrap update and the artist reception.
Great news, the signal wraps are in production. They should be installed probably by mid to third week of September, if not by the last week. And so the question that came up is an artist reception for the artists that were selected, if we'd like to put one on, when we'd like to put one on. The thought would be probably early October and doing some little events, maybe similar to like what we did with the Swedish horses, where we were at One Barrel and, is anybody at that?
I think.
I don't
Tony
think
was
I
there, Chelsea was there.
Maybe Kyle was there. She would have.
Kyle, did you go to that event?
On the,
No, we had COVID.
I think I had something similar going.
It was a nice event. CAC sponsored it. If I remember right, didn't they do light appetizers or something?
Mm-hmm,
You could purchase drinks.
You could purchase your own drink, or I think maybe they did a drink ticket.
A drink ticket.
I don't know, because I didn't indulge in that, but, and I think that One Barrel, like, gave you a deal of, like, X amount of dollars per head, if I remember right.
I don't know why I'm nodding my head. I wasn't there. I was like,
You're like,
that sounds right.
I mean, I could reach out to Jamie or Jordan and ask them if at One Barrel if you want me
what are
to.
your thoughts? I mean, what are we thinking about an artist reception? We could either do it the same night as this meeting in October, so it'd be a Wednesday night, it'd be kind of like a 5:30 to 6:30 or 7. It doesn't have to be super long. If I remember right, that one was only about an hour-ish. I think the CAC chair gave a little spiel. Chelsea, I think, spoke briefly about the event, if I remember right. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
Were you there, Chelsea? Was it you?
I was at the Devil's Head one. I don't
you-
think I was at this one. I
No,
think
you weren't. Okay, you were at Devil's Head. I think it was a former council member then, but said a few words, thanked the artists for their time and creativity and all of that. So it could be whatever we make it. So just curious on your thoughts and.
Yeah, cool.
I would love to do it again. I think it would be really nice to have a reception and celebration of artists.
Okay,
I'm gone the first week of October,
Me
so,
too.
but I don't,
you're out too. Okay.
but we could possibly do it maybe the second.
I'm gone this week.
Oh.
Matters.
Also
Here
gone
we
the second
go.
week. Yeah, the third
I am
week.
also gone.
How are you feeling about
And it doesn't have to be a Wednesday.
How we
It
feel
can
about
be a
November.
Friday.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, any other day would work except for that first week, for me anyhow. I don't know if we'll be able to get all of the people on the commission there, but I would like to be there as the chair or Kyle.
Tuesday the 8th.
Yeah.
Wednesday
And
the-
I'm sorry, can somebody speak up? What dates are we looking at again? So we are looking at October 2nd, but that does not work for Martin. And then were any other dates shared? Sorry, I just want to make
No,
sure.
just the second week is. where we-
Okay.
But I know who's gonna be gone for the second week.
I'll be out the second week, but
I'll be gone Wednesday through the rest of the week.
Okay, so would the 8th of October possibly work at 5:30-ish?
I won't be here for the.
I will say I have another
When are you back?
event.
I'm in training all week that week.
Are you back the week after?
I am. I'm just gone the 6th through the 13th.
Okay,
What about the
no,
15th?
I'm gone then.
Fall is so hard.
For me, the week of October 15th and 16th would be better, and I could do either the Tuesday or the Wednesday, that third week in October.
Okay. I'm gone, but if Tony's here and you're here, then
And I'm here.
perfect. That would be.
I could also do the 22nd through the 23rd also works too. Either that Tuesday or Wednesday to 22nd or 23rd.
I think that's not early October anymore.
That's
Still in
not
October.
to like Halloween
Yeah,
events like for schools. Possibly, I don't know.
okay. What, can we maybe do it on the 15th, and I won't be there unfortunately, but.
I can be there.
I can be there.
Okay.
What time would you like it at?
Kyle, you have child care to think of, so I'll let you pick.
I mean, I would love earlier, but I'm also, if it needs to be 6 o'clock, we can. 4 o'clock would probably be dreamy. 4:30, but honestly for me, I
Nobody's
won't get out. I won't get out
be
of school
working
before
till-
4, so.
Yeah.
Probably
I'll
6
be working till
o'clock.
5:30.
Do you want to do 6 or 6:30?
6:30 would make me really happy.
Okay, let's do 6:30.
Day.
The 15th?
Yes.
6:30.
And then I think you said this, Christina, but last time we allocated money towards this event, so we gave Wine Barrel, didn't we do $1,000 for food, and then we
Yes.
got a sponsor or something for the tickets for the drinks? Was that how it worked? I
Yeah.
don't remember. I remember it was
Yeah, we
something like,
can't as a city provide funding, or the CAC can't either for alcohol. So,
Yeah. but I know we did the food, right?
yeah, I think for a situation like this, so we don't know if One Barrel is available to do it. Tony does have great connections. We'll reach out. Gallo might be another nice little location.
They'll be remodeled.
Maybe alcohol is at your own purchase, so if you want a glass of wine or whatever, it's up to the individual to buy, then we don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So, and I believe we had 5,000, is that correct, for Red Line to do some reception with them, is that
Or for the meeting.
4,000?
Yeah.
4,000? So we were kind of talking, since Red Line's been a slow start, I know they're there, but maybe allocating some of that funding to go towards this.
I think that's a great idea. It's in the same heart of celebrating artists and art in Englewood, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you have 4,000 for meet and greet type events.
I'll make a motion to contribute 1,000 to that event for food.
Wait, Martin, real quick, how many artists did we have again for the raps? How many, it was 6 artists?
6 artists, because yeah, one's a double.
Okay.
And then the thought would be if the previous artists who did raps before, we would also invite them to participate in this event as well.
And
So,
we've got 3 who have responded.
3, so we have 9 right now, maybe just round up to 10. And then they're gonna we'll have to get an RSVP, because most likely they'll bring family guests with them as well.
so then I guess my question is for Tony. Tony, would $1,000 be enough to really cover 9 people plus their families, or do we need to up it to, because if we set that much aside for Red Line, I guess the question is like, what is the appropriate amount for that event to fund all the food?
So if we're doing +1 or family, because that's very different, I would say you and a guest personally.
Okay, you and a guest.
And then I would figure probably $25 to $30 a person, depending on what they could have. So if you're looking at 20 people, let's just say, staff plus commission. So you're looking at what, 25 people, potentially 30 people?
It's about 500.
Yeah.
$600. I think
So
1,000 will get
I
us.
think 1,000 would be okay if we're not, because we're not paying for alcohol, and then whatever you would want to put towards, whatever decorations or certificates or whatever you're giving
Yeah,
them.
our communications team, we've discussed an event with, and we had mentioned the big check. We'll give them the regular size check at this event, but a certificate that's nicely done by our communications department. So that would be the thought, what we give them. Do we want to do like heavy appetizers or actually full on dishes? Like,
I think appetizers.
I
think
like
appetizers.
appetizers. And if you can you can find me what we did for the horses, I'll go based off of that. I think $1,000 would be plenty, but that's my opinion. I don't know.
Because I
honestly,
think if
for the horses, we had 30 people, about.
Do you know how much we put towards that?
Okay, so let's stick with, I'm just like, if we need to go up to 1,500 and that includes decorations, food, and gives us some room to wiggle, because I know food's more expensive too than when we did that.
Yeah.
If we have 30 on that same equation, it's $750 for the food.
So stick with 1,000, you think, with tip and gratuity and all that?
So Leah has to split the difference, which is maybe
1,200,
1,200.
and then hope we don't need
Yeah,
it.
let's do 1,200. It just gives us some room for decorations, and it also allows a tip and all that.
All right, I'll make a motion to provide $12,000, not $12,000, $100.
Big party.
$1,200 for the artist's reception on October 15th.
That would be quite the reception.
I know, we're not doing that.
I second.
Let's go big.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Cool.
I'll check with One Barrel, and I don't think Gallo is reopening yet until they're closed for September.
I thought they said they'd be open in October, but maybe not.
Are they? I wasn't sure.
Well, that's what the sign said.
Oh,
You
okay.
never know like how quickly things are.
Hey, we could also do Mutiny Cafe and bring in a caterer. They're opening their store in
Oh,
October.
will they be there by then?
They said October in the newspaper. I don't know if that's true.
I feel like we go with a for sure thing.
Yeah. Maybe
So that we can start planning.
Yeah.
that's the
Let's go with a place that's actually.
Please.
Jamie's one of my best friends from college, so I can poke her.
Yeah, Jamie and Jordan are great
Awesome.
contacts, so.
Yeah, do you want to reach out to them then and then just?
I'll just text her right now and be like, what are you
Perfect.
doing?
Love it.
All right, moving on to the Creative Crosswalk update.
So great news on that. I don't think we had this in the last update. The price came down significantly. Steve Ortega in our Public Works Department streets did some research and managed to get the price from $56,000 down to about, it ranged between, I think, 9,000 and 11,000,
Wow.
depending on the design and the amount of colors and everything. So that is back on the table. And it's something we could bring to the next meeting to look at the crosswalks again and see if we want to move forward at least one of those with the funding that we have left for this year. And we had 60,000 for the funding, and each wrap was, I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, we should be able to do at least one more, one crosswalk. So
How much are they a piece again?
it ranged between 9 and about 11 or 12,000 depending on the design.
I think your wraps for 3 to 5.
Yeah, I think that's right, 3 to 5 for the wraps, and so, we'll bring those back to you so you can look through them again and, pick something. And then we can move forward with one. And I'll verify with Steve to make sure we can do 2.
Is that something that were there a bunch of them that we would need to vote on, or was it just?
There's only 4 that got approved by our Public Works Department regarding colors and design that would work in the street.
We haven't seen those ones yet.
No, we did not send those out. Actually, we could do that voting if we want before October. We'll send them out. You
We'll
rank
have
them 1 through 4, and then we can see.
And this is money coming from the,
That's coming from, the Public Works will be paying for the wraps
Okay.
on the traffic boxes and then the crosswalk. We like them that.
yeah.
Spending other people's money.
Well, if it all has to be spent.
Exactly. We can do that.
Great. We'll vote on those for the next meeting. Is that all on that?
That's it.
Media and art update.
I'm gonna head out. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Okay.
Hi, Kyle.
So we've moved in Public Works even further with media and art to help us with CDOT and literally translate CDOT language because we don't speak it very well. So they are helping us out, kind of navigate the application, and we're hoping we can get both Rainbow Point and Lunar Hampton through CDOT. Again, we keep in mind, if you see locations you think like the Lunar Hampton piece could go, we'll take recommendations, because CDOT, it's been really hard, as you know.
Is there somebody there who maybe could like provide us with examples of other public art that's on highways?
So that was something that was brought up by
Yeah.
our deputy city manager. On the back of their guidelines, their special use permit guidelines, there are some pictures.
Okay.
If you kind of look at the pictures, some of them are shiny, kind of reflective, some have some colors that
No,
You
I'm
would
kind of
think
surprised they got
would-
approved based off of the feedback we were getting, but gives
So
us
is
a
it just
little-
like, does it just depend on like who the person is, like who opens the email?
Well, the good news is the Hampton and the Lunar Hampton artist has been working with CDOT for a much larger project in the city north of here, Wheat Ridge. And apparently, because of that project, the actual application process was significantly updated. And that project, which is $500,000, is possibly going to be moving because of CDOT's requirements of putting up some massive barriers. So if somebody were to drive off the road and hit it, they want to be killed by the piece of artwork. It's a little over the top, but at least this artist understands CDOT, so I think we may have a little smoother process. And the art hasn't been created, so he can adjust the art based off of CDOT's feedback on everything. We're still waiting. They want an engineer stamp of approval for Rainbow Point, but it's $1,500. Granted, we have some funding, we can help pay for that. But again, it's a little over the top because typically that stamp of approval from an engineer is related to overpasses, and this is not going to overpass. So that's where we're like, can somebody in Public Works help us out? And we actually have 3 or 4 individuals that are now on our team working towards getting that approval. So it's a day by day. We started this process last year in August, I believe, and now we're still talking about it. So we'll be very happy to do
2 years ago.
It was 2 years, yeah.
Was it last year?
It was 2 years ago.
Oh, man.
It-
I don't know, but whatever, it's taking forever. So again, if you see other locations for both Rainbow Point and Lunar Hampton, like, that would be a really nice place to put it. Just share that at the next meeting and we'll look at it, and that might just be an easier process until we can get the art placed. There's another thing to think about too, any art that we own can always be moved to another location as well, just like we did with the You Can't Pin Me Down. So it might be something we put it somewhere and then we find out we can put it in a median in another location or whatever, and we can just move it, so.
Okay.
Nothing's permanent.
All right. Any other discussion on that? Cool. Englewood Block Party. I'm sorry I missed it.
It
You
was
missed a
epic.
good time.
I know, I heard my wife and son.
Yeah, so no, it was great. I am gonna pass the torch over to Leah because she stepped the CAC booth the whole time, and I appreciate that. That was a huge relief of something else I needed to do, so thank you, thank you, thank
That was
you.
fun.
But please tell the group how it went.
It went really well. It was me and Reese, who used to be the chair of this committee. She was there for an hour and a half. I was there for the whole 3 hours. And we just had a bunch of stencils that Tony had gotten for us. We just had kids stenciling with sidewalk chalk on the sidewalk behind us and then a little bit on the street in front of us. So I have pictures that I can pass around to you guys. There's like, they're not super exciting pictures, but just so you can see like what we did. But I think it went really well. Like kids really loved it. I think if we do something like that next year, and I was gonna, talk to you about this, but it would be cool if we could have like an actual designated spot that was like, okay, we're gonna mark off this part of the alley or whatever for the kids, so they really, because I mean, we were definitely like in a thoroughfare. There were people trying to walk by and stuff like that, but the kids who did do it really enjoyed it. The parents loved it. Honestly, like the biggest hit was that Tony gave us like all those containers of wet wipes. The parents were like, yes, they were so excited about it.
That was
like,
a mom.
Yeah,
right there.
I know. I'm like, Tony must have kids because I never would have thought of it. I would be like, just wipe it on your pants. It's fine. So yeah, I think it went really well, and I'd love it if we did it again next year. I also thought it was really cute that we were in that section, that like kid row section, because it was a little bit like quieter, calmer, like kids could kind of run around and not get worried about getting run over by like the band that was walking around or anything like that. But I think it went really well. I had a good time. I did leave immediately after because I was like, this is too much. I gotta go.
Sensory overload.
Yeah. I was like, here's your stuff, bye.
Thanks, Leah.
Yeah.
For doing that.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was great. So, and it was super fun to be able to offer that. And we wanted interactive, and I think that was a huge hit. But, kids of all ages could do it.
Huh.
And I think some parents probably did it too,
Couple of
especially
parents,
based off of your pictures. There's some very well done stencils.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
there were some teenagers too, and I was like, just think of it as like legal graffiti, and they were like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, it was great. And so, and very reasonable, just bought a huge
Super
bucket of
easy.
chalk, a bunch of different stencils, and I went with the flower theme to
Mhm.
kind of fit the annual theme of everything this year, and tons of different colors of chalk and wet wipes and wipes. And so, yeah, so thank you again. That was great. And thank you guys for funding that and allowing that. And we had a huge A-frame too that said, thanks to CAC, and so made sure that everyone knew who you were, had a little QR code that people could click on to find out more about you all. So that's there. So if you guys ever need a QR code,
Great.
let me know. But yeah, no, the block party was great, and I'm super excited to, carry on and do some of those same things, this a really reasonable interactive thing versus, and we had Crafty Chassis there as well, that you guys helped fund. And she she was able to do a ton of free different art projects with a ton of different kids throughout the day as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great. Cool. Well, dang, I wish I was there.
It's okay, I'll do it again next year.
Yeah, I'll put it on my calendar. Okay, on to the holiday tree lighting.
Yeah, so holiday tree lighting is a little different this year. It's on the first Saturday of December instead of the first Saturday of November. And it's going to be here instead of at the Malley Recreation Center. And the reason for the change is that we have outgrown Malley, unfortunately, with parking and inside. Thank goodness no fire marshals came to my event the last 2 years at the Malley Center.
The tree lighting was at the Malley?
No, sorry,
Oh.
the holiday market.
Oh,
We're
okay.
combined together.
Oh, I
Sorry,
understand. That's
I
okay.
left that part out. The tree
What
lighting
tree?
is the tree lighting is now incorporating with the holiday market. That's gonna be here at the city center, so the market is from 9 to 4, and then encouraging everyone to go outside and watch the tree lighting at 5:15, 5:30-ish. Santa will be here, hoping that he will have a space in the guild because they're down at the Spark and they have a huge window that they want, like that's their vision for Santa. I've invited the high school again, the choir to come and sing, and then incorporating it into the market, I think will just build even more attendance for the event. So yeah, gonna be fun, and Crafty Chassis is also being funded through the funds that you guys were helped us with. The Crafty Chassis will be there for that as well.
Great.
It's the first Saturday of December?
December 7th. Which also is our Holiday Express will be happening that weekend. It's the first weekend of Holiday Express. And that night is also the same night as the Denver Light of Lights. So I tell everyone they can jump on the light rail and go check out Denver's lights after they watch
What's
ours.
the Holiday Express?
That's held at Bellevue Park at our farm down there.
Oh,
The
okay.
train.
With the train, okay. I was like,
And that typically sells out, so if you have interest in that, keep an eye out. Tickets go on sale in October?
I don't know.
Soon.
Soon, yeah, Halloweenish, I think,
Yeah.
and it's usually sold out within a week. So she does 2 weekends of Friday and Saturday on both weekends, so 4 nights.
Great.
I encourage everyone to go to that as well because that's cool. And be there when Santa comes in on the train because that's like the coolest part ever.
In regards to the holiday tree lighting, in the budget, you had set aside $500 for the tree lighting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that, if it is something that you want to talk about or do it at a future meeting, but a motion would need to be made
To actions.
for Tony to spend that for the tree lighting if that's, I just wanted to bring that up to know that that hadn't, a motion had not been made yet for that.
What is that money for?
So it helps, so in the past, I've used that money to help buy like hats and stockings and glasses and stuff for the choir, and then just having some more interactive things that helps with the DJ and gets the kids engaged in the families, and then just having more of the holiday type atmosphere.
Cool. I'll make a motion to give $500 to the tree lighting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm not texting, I'm keeping notes on my
Sure.
phone.
Tony, what were the hours again for the holiday market on the 7th?
So the market is from 9 to 4, and then
And
the
it's
tree
here.
lighting, and the tree lighting will happen about 5:15.
Okay. Thank you.
If it's dumping buckets, it will be done at 5:17. If it's nights and we're in capris and a t-shirt like we were a couple of years ago, then I'm like, it's 6 o'clock, friends, time to go home.
Great. Any more about that? All right, moving on to staff's choice. Do you have anything, Chelsea?
I don't. Not this week.
All right, on to commissioner's choice. Great, then we'll adjourn at 6:28 p.m. Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks all.
So I'm gonna